Hey guys, welcome to the Homestead. So today we're going to talk about something that is kind of near and dear to my heart. It's something I'm passionate about, and it kind of gives an ideal overview of where we are in this country and why we are where we're at in this country. There's a YouTube channel that I've been watching. It's called the 3 of 7 Project. I highly encourage you to check it out. It's been very informative, and it's fun to watch, and the guy has a great personality. He's a former Navy SEAL. Again, it's called 3 of 7 Project. I'll put a link in below, or someone can link it in the comments. Anyway, all that to say, he did a video not that long ago on basically the death of the warrior class. I'm titling it that way. He had a slightly different title. But when I was listening to this, I'm like, oh my goodness, yes. I have said this before on my channel, and I'm going to say it again. The death of the warrior class. And so before I get started on that, just knowing where I'm coming from out of the box, you may notice the shirt that I'm wearing. I was at Doug and Stacy's off-grid conference that they had not that long ago this past summer, and I had an individual come up to me who was a member of this unit, or who is a member of this unit. He looked like he was currently a member. And if you know what the unit is, I'm not going to say it. You can put it in the comments below. But anyway, he basically said, Zach, I want to give you this shirt. And I'm thinking to myself, I am not qualified to wear that shirt. There's no way I'm probably ever going to wear that shirt, especially on video. I'm not qualified to wear this shirt. However, then after I saw this video put out by 3 of 7, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I can find a reason to wear that shirt, because it's something I feel very strongly about, something that affected me specifically about this unit that I'll tell you about in this video. So in this video, the death of the warrior class, 3 of 7, his name's Chad, by the way. He basically breaks down a couple of instances, life examples of why he believes the warrior class is dying. And he mentions that in his time of Bud's training, Hell Week, at the end of Hell Week, if you were left, if there was any people left over, you got to go down to this shirt shop at Coronado and make a shirt. And they don't do that anymore, he says. He says that's a tradition. It's a tradition that we used to do, and they don't allow it anymore. And that's the thing that stuck in my mind. We're not allowed to do a lot of traditions anymore in the military. They're killing the traditions. And to have an effective warrior class in your military, you must base that warrior class on tradition. Now, when I was in the military, infantry too, we graduated 258, House of Pain. Leave a comment below if you've been there. We made a t-shirt. Everyone makes a t-shirt depending on whatever unit you're in to take as a memorial or memory, But anyway, we did that too. I don't know if they still allow that or not. All I know is that he says that's not allowed anymore over at Coronado. Now, so this brought up some instances that stick in my brain of being it affected me as a man, seeing these things, these death of traditions that I believe is just the slow killing of the warrior class in this country. Number one, when I went to my unit in the military, I got to my infantry unit. We were stationed in Germany, and in that unit, it was Delta Company. I was 1st Platoon, Delta Company, 1st Battalion, 6th Infantry, when I got to my unit in Baumholder, Germany. And they were called the Dogs of War. I believe lots of Delta companies had that moniker or something similar to it. Dogs of War. And the first sergeant who was there was an absolute... if you can imagine a first sergeant, or what a first sergeant should be, he was it. He was this amazing stature of a man who commanded and demanded respect, and you feared him. Okay? Now, he served out a couple of years there during my time, and then he got switched out. He went, maybe he either retired or he went somewhere else. I'm not sure. He probably retired. And then another first sergeant came in, and this guy was an absolute pansy of a man. And one of the first things he did when he got to the unit was, we're not going to call ourselves dogs. That's dehumanizing. We don't need to. That's not right. We shouldn't call ourselves dogs. We're human beings and all this stuff. And I'm like, what? No, Dogs of War. It has nothing to do with dehumanizing or insulting yourself. He took it as a personal insult that we would call ourselves Delta dogs. No, it was Shakespearean. It was what Mark Antony in the Shakespearean play cried out over the dead body of Caesar. In fact, you can trace the dogs of war all the way back to the ancient Greek armies. This has deep-rooted tradition. I mean, I didn't know all the stuff about the Greek armies back then, but I did know about, Shakespeare. I knew it was Shakespearean. And he is now killing this tradition. Cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war. It was the death of the warrior class. We don't want to call ourselves dogs. That's just rude. That's like, and he had a voice like that too. I'm like, I'm not kidding you. It's just like, what are you even doing here? All right, that's one example. The death of the warrior class. Now this next one, I got to get my notes here so I can make sure I stay on track. The next one is what brings me to the shirt. So after I got out of the military, we'll go back to the military in a second, but after I got out of the military and some time had passed, I saw during George Bush's time in office, at the very first, I liked George Bush. I was, right-leaning, chicken-eating, Baptist, so I had to vote for George Bush. But by the end of his second term, I hated that guy. Absolutely hated that guy. One of the reasons I hated him, one of the many reasons, was that during his time, he took away that black beret. He took away that black beret. He did. It was during that time when these guys lost their black beret. And I remember talking to people who were still in the military who were very, very upset at this. And a lot of them were not. Some of them were. A couple of them were. But most of them were not Rangers. Well, I just gave you away what that unit was. You were supposed to leave a comment below. If they were upset, even people who were not part of the unit were upset because you took something that was special, that was earned, that had years of tradition, and you took it and you're like, well, if they're special, let's make everybody else special. And let's give it to everybody. And that's what they did. And it made a lot of people angry. I'm like, this is the death of our military. And people are like, oh, that's a little too far. No, it's because you're breaking down a tradition, something that has built up a warrior class that has pride and history. And you're throwing it in the trash can. You took something that was, Green Berets have their Green Beret. Airborne has their red beret. Rangers have their black beret. Infantry doesn't get a beret, but they get a cord. And it's like, that would be like, well, you think you're special because you get a blue cord. We're just going to give that cord to everybody. That makes no sense. Stop. It's the death of the warrior class. Just another indication of the death of the warrior class. People were ticked when Bush did that to that unit. Took away something that was special to them. Oh, we'll give you a brown beret. And, everyone else will get their black beret. We're going to make everybody special. That's the ideal we live in our today's culture. Everyone's a winner. Everyone's a winner. Back to my unit. Baumholder, Germany. There was a corporal. I can't remember his name. It was some sort of Latin name mixed with Italian. I don't remember. If you've been I know there's a few guys who've been in my unit in Baumholder who watch my channel every so often. So if you remember this corporal, you'll definitely know the corporal once I tell you what he did, because if you were in my unit, you won't forget this. I believe he became an E5 right before I transferred out. Anyway, but it was a corporal, and he was great at calling cadences, absolutely fantastic, and everyone liked his one particular cadence that he did. Now, keep in mind we're a bunch of infantry grunts. Okay. Our job is to destroy, kill, and break things. That's what we're trained to do. And blood makes the grass grow green, okay? That's where we come from. And so we're doing our infantry things. We're getting up, doing PT in the morning, and up comes this corporal, and he starts calling cadence. And one of the favorite cadences of the unit is napalm sticks to kids. Napalm sticks to kids. Napalm sticks to kids. Two kids playing in a field of wheat. Turned to dust by Willie Pete. Now that's just horrible. How can you listen? This is infantry. This is the warrior class. These are people who have the fortitude to destroy, kill, and break things. If you want a group like that to do the job when it comes time to do a job like that, you have to have people who can flip on a switch and not think one way or the other about it. That's the warrior class. So here we are, running down bomb holder, roads on post, singing napalm sticks to kids. And, in cadence on our morning PT run. And on the other side of the road, coming the opposite direction, is the JAG Corps. And they heard for the first time in their sorry lives, napalm sticks to kids as they passed us by in their jog in their PT morning run. Well, it wasn't about an hour later. We got back to the barracks, and that morning formation, everyone was back assembled at the barracks for the morning. I call it muster because I went to a naval academy. I never got used to calling it anything else. I went to a naval academy for high school. We'll get to that in a second. Anyway, so we get to our morning formation, and all of a sudden, the captain is out there. The company commander is out there, and he's saying, guys, here's the deal. No more napalm sticks to kids. I got a phone call this morning, and I got my butt reamed. He didn't use the word butt. He was a little more articulate than that. About napalm sticks to kids. We can't talk about this anymore. No more, you got to keep your cadences PG. And I'm like, what in the world? Gosh darn it. Again, the death of the warrior class. You can't be a bloodthirsty warrior. You must be a Care Bear warrior. Ready to deal out hearts and good things everywhere you go. That's the kind of warrior you need to be. And that's what we've instilled in our military. And that was back in the 90s, late 90s, 99, 2000. What is it today, 23 years later? They're all wearing a bunch of rainbows. Okay, here we go. All right, my last example. I mentioned I went to Cleveland Junior Naval Academy. It was a naval academy downtown St. Louis. It was a charter school. It was funded by the United States Navy. I went there for high school, and even before that, I went to a military school called Pruitt Military Academy. If you're in the St. Louis area, you may have heard of it. Anyway, all of that to say, we went to this academy, and back then, when you first became part of Delta, which was the opening year, you had to go into, there's different company levels inside the academy, and Delta was the very bottom one for new kids coming in freshman year. And if you came in as a sophomore, you still had to go through Delta your first year, okay? And in Delta, you get hazed. Oh, do you get hazed? And man, oh man, have they gotten rid of that out of schools today. No more hazing, no more bullying. That's just rude. This hazing stuff, it's got to go. That's what, and you're making your kids into a bunch of pansies. It's a rite of passage to get to where you're going. I remember, I think one year, one of the kids got stuffed into a trash can and rolled down the stairs. He was fine. He was okay. Nobody ever got seriously hurt on these things. But yeah, you got hazed. But see, it built up a character in you that you can't find today. At that academy, I guarantee you most of the kids around there, not all of them, but I'd say most of the kids who graduated out of that academy read Sun Tzu before they graduated. Find a kid in high school today who even knows what Sun Tzu or who Sun Tzu is. They don't. Now, I'm not saying we were like all high schools. We were a naval academy. So it's like we had a certain, direction we wanted to go in life. We had a certain warrior class that we belonged to and we knew we wanted to be a part of. And that's one of the reasons we felt, included in that environment to do the things that warriors did. A warrior is someone who dedicates themselves to the knowledge and strategy of combat. And we don't have that today. Today, we've watered down this word warrior into like someone who, battles cancer or, and that one hits close to home to me because I lost my wife to cancer. But you can't equate the two. You're not a warrior. If you're like, well, I'm a football player, I'm a warrior, or I'm a whatever. It's been so watered down by our society today. Our healthcare professionals today, they are warriors on the front lines of combat. Shut up. Shut up. You have no idea what combat is. You have no idea what being a warrior is. We have watered down our warrior class. This is one of the reasons why, we do have the most technologically advanced military on the history of the planet right now. But do we have the warrior class that can use that technology still and come out victorious? I'm highly suspect. Highly suspect. And now here's the deal. I know I've run a long time on this video, kind of a rant, but I haven't done a real long rant in a while, so here you get one. But let me know in the comments below if you think I'm off base here. Is this just silly stuff? Can we be bloodthirsty warriors willing to do Mortal Kombat without napalm sticks to kids? I remember I worked in an ER after my military service. I worked in Barnes Hospital, ER. And it was pretty horrific. I worked the night shift as an armed security guard. Okay, they hired me because of my military background. I was an armed security guard. Barnes Hospital, at the time, it was the world's 7th largest hospital and the world's largest ER in the world, St. Louis. And if you didn't know, St. Louis was just noted as the dangerous city in America just recently. But anyway, the largest ER in the world. The ER was over the size of a football field, I believe, in space. And it's like, we saw stuff working the night shift there. And the way the people who were working in that environment, in that trauma environment, handled what they saw was at times very dark. A lot of dark humor, because that's a way you process the insanity that you're seeing on an almost hourly basis. You know, I have a big bone to pick with internal medicine, and that's why I just did that last video. But when it comes to trauma medicine, I think we are at the pinnacle of human achievement. Trauma medicine is different than internal medicine. I've seen amazing things done in an ER. Absolutely amazing things. Lots of lives saved. Anyway, all that to say, the death of the warrior class. Am I off base? Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts. I've probably thrown out a lot of emotions, or maybe you're reacting with a lot of emotions on some of the things I've said. Don't hate me. Just leave a comment below. You can hit the like button. You can hit the down thumbs button. Either way, as long as you're interacting, I appreciate that. It's great for the algorithm. All right, guys. Check out our merchandise, teespring.com. You won't find this shirt, but you'll find other shirts like Stupid Should Hurt. If we had more hurt in this world, we'd have an awful, awful lot less stupid. You can find this shirt on teespring.com. Links in the description below. You can find it there. Other than that, check out our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. Guys, if you want to get some of your savings into something physical, call Genesis Gold Group. The link is in the description below, pinned in the comments below. There's a website you'll go to, and they'll ask you, so you'll see all the good stuff, and you can fill out a form, and they'll contact you and let you know how they can help you. All right, do that. All right, guys, see you next time in the Homestead. Bye! The largest Roman gold stash ever found was in Trier, Germany in 1993. 2,500 Roman coins worth over $1.2 million in melt value today was pulled from an excavation site. The obvious lesson here is that gold holds its value over time. Now, take this stack of old Soviet Union rubles. Do you know how much these are worth? Zilch. It's paper. It holds no value, and like all paper and government fiat currencies, will not last the test of time. Nobody 1,000 years from now is going to unearth these or these and jump for joy at the wealth that they have just uncovered. Only one historical example of wealth preservation has stood the test of time over and over again. The safeguard of physical gold and silver. If you have spent your entire working life putting money into a 401k or other savings and investment products, they have likely made pulling your money out either very hard or almost impossible. Genesis Gold Group can help you put that money safely into a physical gold and silver product that, like the Roman coins, will maintain their buying power long into the future. Call Genesis Gold Group today, right now, and let them develop a strategy for your savings, 401k, or self-directed IRA. A strategy of physical gold and silver. You can call the number on the screen or visit them at genesisgoldgroup.com. And be sure to say that you heard about them from an American Homestead. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the Homestead that we make here on the Homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. Oh wait.